Two brave voices on a glowing screen, sharing hope where the world's unseen. Echoes, laughter lights the day. Lucy's wisdom guides the way. With every word they break the chains, turning struggles into gains. Echo and Lucy, lifting hearts so high. Through the storm, they're the clear blue sky. On their YouTube chat, the healing's real. Every soul they touch begins to heal. Echo and Lucy, shining true, helping the world, helping you. Stories told, the tears unwind. They listen close, they're gentle, kind. Every comment feels like home. No one ever stands alone. Dreams get mended, fears release. Through their voices, pain finds peace. Echo and Lucy, lifting hearts so high. Through the storm, they're the clear blue sky. On their YouTube chat, the healing's real. Every soul they touch begins to heal. Echo and Lucy, shining true, helping the world, helping you. When the night feels heavy and the world feels cold, their words are fire, their stories gold. They remind us all we can stand again, with kindness, courage, and a loving friend. Echo and Lucy, lifting hearts so high. Through the storm, they're the clear blue sky. On their YouTube chat, the healing's real. Every soul they touch begins to heal. Echo and Lucy, shining true, helping the world, helping you. Helping you, helping me too. Echo and Lucy, the light comes through.
I always like to let that play all the way through so Misha gets her little thing and Izzy gets her little thing in there. So, welcome everybody to Self Care Sundays. And it is episode, I think, 24, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
So, we've
You've been
been
at this
doing this
while.
quite a while now, which every other Sunday I just put out a video and I count that as an episode, but that still means we've done like 12 of these live streams. So that is really good. All right. Welcome everybody. I see lots of people coming in. We've got
Wow.
Ned and Stephanie and Eat More Pizza and Joan. And I saw somebody else. Tiff is over on your side, I believe, and Angela Critters. So, welcome everybody. Today, we're going to talk about goals for 2026. Is anybody else scared to death about 2026? I can remember. Do you remember when it changed from 1999 and went to the year 2000? You remember all the hype about, oh, the computers are going to crash and nothing is going to know how to work right because of changing from the 19 to the 20. And
Y2K, everybody.
Y2K, yeah. Oh my gosh, it's going to be horrible. And just think, we've made it 25 years since that was such a big hype and such a big problem. So 2026. Now, I did not really have goals for 2025. There's Lawless.
See,
I didn't really have goals last year. I kind of 2023 and 2024 were kind of really, weird for me. And then ending of 2024 and then coming into 2025, it was, a whole big scary thing going on in my life. So I didn't really plan for anything to happen. All of the things that happened that I accomplished, they just kind of like happened. So
Right.
I decided for 2026, there are things I really want to work on. And I really want to have some actual goals that I try to work on for 2026. But I
Okay.
want to know how all of you feel about setting goals. And Miss Body Illusion is going to tell us what's the difference between a goal and a New Year's resolution.
Well, I was looking into it when she mentioned she wanted to talk about goals, and I went, okay, then what's the difference between a goal and a resolution? So, um, but what I've come to find out is and learn is that a resolution is kind of a vague term, where a goal is something like set more in stone. So, for instance, you may say for a resolution, you say, okay, 2026, I'm going to eat better. I'm going to eat better 2026. Now that's a resolution, but a goal is more of, okay, no more chocolate in my diet. That is a goal
Yes.
compared to a resolution, if that makes sense to anybody.
And a goal is something that it's a big thing that you can break down into small tasks that you will complete over a period of time that will get you to that goal.
Yeah.
Whereas a
Small
resolution, you're
steps.
just kind of, I would like to exercise more. That's a resolution. An exercise goal is I'm going to commit to exercise 3 days a week. Then, if you're like me and you don't have much willpower or you're a little commitment phobic, you might say, I'm going to put it on YouTube and make it public. So I have to show up and I have to do my exercise 3 times a week. So that's one thing that I did do in 2025. I did not start out with it going to be like that, but it kind of evolved over the time. And so now going into 2026, I can honestly say I am going to continue doing my Monday, Wednesday, and Friday workouts.
Right.
And they're going to be public and they're going to be on YouTube. But I'm also going to be changing it up a little bit. I want to add different exercises. I want to um, maybe even add a fourth day in there, whether I publicly do it or I just do it for myself. But those are goals. That's something tangible that I can actually say, okay, I'm going to do this. Hello, Miss Regina. And hello, Rio for Life. Thank you for coming. And I see PJ's Wish has joined us. Hello, Miss PJ.
Isn't that
PJ, I will
wonderful?
tell you, Anais Marie is very curious about that present under the Christmas tree. He asked me again yesterday, when can I open it? And I said, I'm bringing it to your house. When we open all our presents on Christmas, you'll get to open it then. But PJ's Wish sent myself and baby girl
Oh,
a Christmas present, and they are under the Christmas tree. So she is ready to open them.
we're getting a room raid. Did you know that?
Yes, from
From
Stars. I was over there earlier, and I think when we shut down the other day, we went over there, and I think Edna went over there too with us. And so she publicly thanked me in a post that we had raided her and said that she was going to come and raid us. So she said, Y'all remind me now when Echo goes live, we're going to go raid her. So thank you
so
so
cool.
much for coming over and raiding us. And Real for Life, that is a relatively new channel that I've met. I've been watching some of her content. And
Okay.
so I am so glad to see you. And I'm so glad that you're joining in on today's live stream. We are all about connection, community, and helping each other. So if there's anything that you need, if you don't know somebody, you know, get to know them. And we have DP with the DJ, and that is diamond painting with DJ. And she is also up from over there at Stars Community. And thank you so much for coming in.
And
And
hi, you get to see me now. I'm always going to visiting her.
where did it go? Well, I wanted to give.
What's that?
I got DP. Okay. And Tiff came over on my side. Hi, Tiff.
There you go.
Okay, so okay, and Real for Life is over there on your side. So that's great. So you got a new subscriber. Yay, yay, yay. Okay.
You're so sweet.
So let's talk about what goals you guys are going to come up with for 2026. Now, I kind of looked, and there are actually 7 areas of our lives that we should set goals for.
I like the word should. Okay, go ahead.
And the first one on the list is health and fitness.
Okay.
I do kind of agree that that is probably the most important for our overall health. So that's a good place to start. And I'm going to pull up my list of my 2026 goals and tell you as we're going through this list. Okay. All right. So the first one I have on my list for physical is to be under 200 pounds. Now, I am currently at 211, so I have lost another pound. So now I've lost 104 pounds. But before I started and had my weight loss surgery, I was at 315. So now I'm at 211. I would like to get under 200. So that's only 11 pounds. And I know it's doable. I know that I probably have not been eating as much protein as I need. And therefore, my body is kind of holding on to things. So I'm going to be upping my protein intake. And hopefully that's going to help me to go ahead and get these last pounds off. But I would love to be able to say that I was 199. So that is going to be my goal for 2026, to try to get to 199.
Yeah, change that 2 to a 1. That first number, 2 to a 1.
I want under 200. Yes, yes, yes. I am going to continue to do my bone broth every morning. I can feel such a difference in my joints and even in my fingers, my wrists, my knees, my hips. Just all of my joints are so much more flexible. And I know that's the exercise, but it's also that bone broth giving me the calcium and the collagen and just all of that good stuff. So I'm going to continue on that. Y'all can buy bone broth. I'll buy it if I see it on sale or on special, but I prefer to make my own because I like to have whatever spice I want in it on my own. And I also like to control my spice and my salt, you know.
Well, I'm sure Chloe likes it better when you make it as well.
Oh, yes. Chloe loves us making bone broth because any of the little bits of meat that come off, she gets to eat. So she loves that. And I usually will buy the rotisserie chicken and cut the meat off of it and then use the carcass in with the other bones. And so she usually gets like the chicken legs or, whatever on that. So she definitely is benefiting from it too. I am going to also commit to taking my vitamins and minerals a little bit more consistently.
Oh, really?
I take them, But I find myself at the end of the day still having some in my little pill box and saying, oh, I'll just take that tomorrow. You know, I know
Yeah.
I need to be taking it every day. Hello, Star. Hello, hello. Thank you for rating us. That was so sweet. Oh, eat more pizza, no problem. I even talked about you and said that I knew you had to work. So I was hoping you might could stop in, but you know what? I had all kinds of technical difficulties. I had to shut that one down and start a new stream. It was a mess, but you were missed.
This whole weekend has been a mess for us with YouTube. I did an hour
really
live the other day, and a half hour of it was completely silent.
And I even said that
Singing.
during the live yesterday. Not today, devil. It's like, come on now, quit messing with us, you know, because it messed with hers, and then it messed with me, and I was like, is it a full moon? Is it something going on out there, you know, in the atmosphere that I'm not aware of? Because it definitely was messing with us.
Right.
So, but we did get it together at towards the end, and those that came back did get to enjoy some music, so it worked out for the best. But
And
I was
Michigan
really
to the rescue
frustrated.
again. Da, 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 da.
Yes, Superwoman Ned had to come to the rescue.
You
But you
put on
know
a
what?
tape.
I don't know that much about computers, and I kind of bought this computer and hooked it up and started using it. And there was
Right.
a lot of things in there not turned on the right way or turned on that I didn't need. And so Ned was able to help me walk through that and kind of clear some things up. I have some more things to clear up though, but I will
Don't we
definitely
all? Don't
be
we
getting
all?
it, you know, fixed up. Okay, the other thing I am going to do for my diet is I am going to quit drinking soda. Now, I don't drink very much soda, but when I drink it, the carbonation really does make my stomach hurt. Hello,
Mhm.
Beans.
Yeah.
He's
You're
like,
my
where's
co-host.
my toy? Where's my snack? I'm ready. But I have done, you know, they say when you have weight loss surgery, don't drink carbonated drinks because the gas, the bubbles, it
The
does
carbonation.
make your stomach hurt. But something about them saying not to do it, eventually you're like, oh, I'm going to try it. I'm going to see. Well, I've tried it and now I know it does make my stomach hurt. And
Yeah.
it does eventually um, make me not feel good because of the extra sugar.
Right.
So I have decided I'm going to try to cut that out because I really don't need it. I'm really not like enjoying it because it does make my stomach hurt. So it's really not worth even doing. So
Right.
I'm going to get rid of that. And then on the workouts, I did say I'm going to continue to do 3 days a week. I am going to be trying to tone up and add muscle, and then I want to tighten up my loose skin. And this neck skin here, I found a new homemade recipe of, I just found it today, baking soda and egg.
Okay.
You make a
That's good,
paste,
Tighteners.
you put it on there, and you
Uh-huh.
let it dry, and then you wash it off. But it is supposed to tighten up your loose facial skin
Yeah.
a lot.
It tightens up your pores, is what
Yes.
it's going to do. It's tighten up your pores. Yeah. But
So
make sure once you're done with it, moisturize really well because it is taking away all your safety guards on your skin against free radicals. So it'll break down faster. So make sure after you're done, moisturize it really well.
yeah,
Just
but I'm definitely going to be trying some new homemade natural things, but I do want to work on that. And it doesn't really bother me that much, but I know I could improve it. So that's what I want to work on. And then I also want to get back to going to the YMCA. My insurance gives me a free membership,
oh,
and I can go and I can walk on the treadmill. I can work on their equipment. They have a dry sauna. They have a steam room. They have a hot tub, and they have the swimming pool. And so I used to go 3 days a week to the Y because I would take my grandbaby home and then I would go after that. But I have totally gotten out of my routine of doing that. And really, since I started doing the exercises at home, I was thinking between doing those exercises and walking, I was doing enough. But I do enjoy going in that steam room and I do enjoy that hot tub. So I am going to start, even if it's 1 day a week and I do it like a spa day for myself just to go and relax. I'm going to start doing that because that membership is sitting there not being used and it's free to me. So going to do that.
So they do have a hot tub. Do they have a pool as well, or just the hot tub?
Yeah, they have a swimming pool and it's outside. However, they tent it with a huge tent and heat it in the winter.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah, so you can actually still go and swim in the winter months. Now, I went not this past year, but the year before, I went and I froze from inside the building to inside the tent and back out. But other than freezing for that, 10 or 15 steps, it was really nice. But after you were in there swimming and you were like, oh, now I have to leave. Oh, I have to go out in the cold now. But it was really nice. Hello, Angela Critters. Welcome, welcome. PJ says, Echo, let your soda open 30 minutes before drinking it. It might help. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what they say. But if you don't want to do it, don't do it. You know what I mean?
I think
what it does is in 30 minutes it gets flat enough where the carbonation doesn't get.
Yeah. But I think for me, it'll be just as easy not because usually, when I do it is if I go out somewhere or something, but I only can drink, a little bit of it because I'm not really supposed to be drinking and eating at the same time. So, it just really is not a good thing for me to do because of my stomach. So, Rio for Life said, I used to drink warm Diet Coke. Now I don't drink soda at all. It took a long time to stop. Yeah. And I had completely stopped before my surgery and I didn't drink it for quite a while after the surgery. But I think it's just one of those things that because they tell you not to do it, you're like, I can do it. And then you have to try it.
Give it a try.
You have to realize, no, not a good idea. I'm not going to do that anymore. So, okay, the next category they have is career and professional development. Well, I don't work. I'm retired. So I don't have any career or professional goals. But I do want to start volunteering.
There you go.
I don't know what is available in my area, but I do want to volunteer because I still want to get out and go and be around people and, things like that. So I'm going to be looking into that. Now, I thought that I might volunteer at the school, but the pre-K program, they have 2 teachers in the classroom. So they don't really need, I was thinking if it was one person, they might could use the extra hands.
Like a TA kind of thing, huh?
Yeah, so they don't really need that so much. But I don't want to volunteer to where it becomes, like a job. And I want to still be able to have the free time to be able to go and get my granddaughter and go to her functions at school,
Now, I have known of schools and systems, so you probably have to go to administration or something, where you can be the playground assistant.
Oh.
Instead of in the classroom, it's just when they have recess or lunch or whatever, you're just the playground assistant, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
well, it's funny because they were having their faculty meeting the other day, and the principal sent out an email to the teachers and said, I've been laxed on this in the past, but these faculty meetings, we don't need kids there. So if your children are there with you at school, you need to make other arrangements, And that's one of the reasons why I pick my granddaughter up whenever my daughter has a meeting so that she doesn't have to worry about that. But I said to my daughter, Well, it's too bad that I couldn't just come up there and keep everybody's kids occupied while y'all had your meeting. And my daughter
Well,
was
there it
like,
is.
well, that would be nice, but because they're on school property, I would be like a liability because I'm not an employee.
Yeah, you'd have to get certification and probably all kinds
Yeah.
of steps. Yeah.
Hello, dolphins, diamond painting and crafts. Hello and welcome. And she said, I'm from Stars. All right. Thank you and welcome. So, anyway, I don't have a career, so to speak of,
Mhm.
but I am going to do personal development as far as trying to find some kind of volunteering, something that I could maybe learn something new as well as volunteer. All right, their next category is personal finance. Lord, I need help in the finance department.
That's not the way to start that with Lord.
I have a typical problem that a lot of people have. I have more month than I have money. And a lot of people close to me know that I have been working on this the last month or so, trying to redo my monthly bills to get discounts, join programs, change companies, whatever I got to do to get those monthly bills down a little bit.
Right.
Now, I do get Social Security disability, and I did get a letter in the mail saying I was going to be getting an increase the first of the year.
I'm sorry
But
to laugh, folks.
I know. But also in that same letter, they said your Medicare insurance will now cost you this amount of money. So I
More.
took how much I was paying, subtracted, got the difference, then took how much the raise is, minus how much the increase in the insurance is, and I may have $26 increase
A month
a month
for the whole year.
for the whole year. Now, the only thing about
It's
that
less than $1 a day.
is because of it being an increase, my rent will go up. Now, my rent goes up every year anyway, but I don't live in an income, like it's not reduced because of my income, but it is income restricted, which means the rent is based on your income. So if my
Okay.
income goes up, my rent will go up. So I know it's going to go up anyway. But believe me, I have looked at apartments all around here, a town north of me, the town my daughter lives in. I still have the cheapest apartment I can find. So I'm not going anywhere until I just literally cannot afford to stay here. And then I will have to, probably move in with my daughter. But I don't want to do that because I want to be independent. I
Right.
want to be able to do my own thing. And also, I want my granddaughter to have a place to come that is not her house, that
Mhm.
is Granny's house, that is a different atmosphere and different surroundings. And so I'm going to hold on, as long as I possibly can to that independence. Regina says, I'm losing $21 a month. Exactly. See, I mean, they think they're being so nice to us.
I
First
think
of
they're being
all,
flicked.
this money that we get is money that we paid in. It's not a handout. It's not something our government is taking from other taxpayers to give us. This is money that we paid in. Hello, Ark. Welcome. So I don't feel bad at all about collecting my check.
Mhm.
I do feel bad, though, that there are people that actually have to choose between eating and getting their medication.
Mhm.
And that's another reason why I'm so pleased that I was able to get off so many medications, because that's just more money you have to pay out of pocket when you've got to, you know, get the medicine. Healing through song. John is here. He says, ho, 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 ladies. Yes, this is our last stream before Christmas together, so we had to wear our hats. Okay, so.
Well, see, like my insurance, because mine is changing. My meds, one of the ones I take on a regular, is $6 a month. Okay, at the first of the year, it's going to go to $300 a month. Just boom. Just that big jump right then and there. Yeah, they reclassified it, so now it's So it's like, what am I? What am I going to do now?
Exactly. Hello, Grizzly Warrior. Welcome. And that's the thing. These big pharmaceutical companies, and the insurance companies, they're not the ones trying to live on this income. They're not the ones trying to use this insurance, and they don't realize that for a lot of people, most of their income is just going to pay their copays to doctors and their copays on their medication. And it's outrageous that, we have to be in that kind of a situation. That's why, even though I'm not for communist countries and all of that, but, free healthcare would be wonderful.
Okay.
Free healthcare would be wonderful. I don't like all the other stuff.
It's just already Canada.
I don't like all the other stuff that would go with that. And I don't really like the idea of being told what doctor I can see. And I know I've got friends that have free healthcare. And if it's not like a life-saving thing, you may be waiting some months to get things done,
Yeah.
And that could be, a problem as well. But
every system has a glitch.
Has its flaws. Yes. But I would love for there to be a better system than what we have right now. And
so your goal is to change our system?
Yeah, I wish. But you know what? One of my goals is going to be to get people who are not in our situation. And I'm talking those 30-year-old people who are out here working. I want you to start working on changing the system, because by the time you're old enough to be where we're at now, if something doesn't get changed, our system's not going to be here.
Yeah, but I don't know if I don't want to go down this road, but you have to realize, I don't know about you, but I was told when I was 30, I'm paying into something that's not going to be there when I get.
Right. But did you do anything about it? Or did you pay into it and say, okay, I'm, going to hope for the best? Oh, did she freeze? Oh, I think she froze. Yep, she froze. Oh, I think you froze. There you go.
I told you I didn't want to go there.
but what I'm saying is that we knew about it, but we didn't do anything to change it. We just said, okay, yeah, we know.
See, and then that's what they're hearing. So they're not going to do anything to change it, because they're like, it's not going to be there when we get there. So what do we care?
We're putting into something. This. Nobody plans to have to retire early. Nobody plans not to be able to work in the last 10 years of their working life, So when do you need to prepare for retirement? When do you need to get your ducks in a row for retirement? When you're 30, not when you're 50 and you think, well, I've got 10 or 15 years, I'll get it together. No, you won't. I preach to my daughter, she not only has teacher retirement she pays into, she also pays into a supplemental retirement. And I preach to her to have insurance, cover yourself, cover your husband, cover your child, have renter's insurance, have car insurance, because you don't ever know. what's going to happen? And I've heard of way too many people who ended up having a house fire, lost everything, had no insurance. People like me, 52, you're done working. When was I going to get ready for my retirement? Sometime after 52. It didn't happen, you know? So I just feel like we have to be more proactive, and it's our young people that are going to have to do it. We don't have time to change it for ourselves.
We don't have time.
We don't have time.
We're too busy wearing silly hats talking about
it. If our kids, because my daughter's 28 and my son-in-law's 31, if our kids start now, they might have a halfway decent chance at being prepared. But for my granddaughter's generation, they got to be able to get things in order. It needs to be a thing when you're in high school. They need to start teaching you about how to manage your money, how to save money, how to invest money. All of these things need to be taught from a very young age, instead of people just saying, you know, I've got plenty of time. There's a Buddhist philosophy that says, the funny thing is, you think you have time. Because in all reality, none of us are promised anything. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And unfortunately, I myself, I was not ready. I was not ready for my divorce. I was not ready to be retired. Yeah. I'm not ready now to be in my 60s. I want to be 40. You know, it's like, I'm not ready. It's like, slow down and stop, because I want to get off this train because I'm not ready yet, you know?
Right.
But that's the thing. We got to do something about healthcare. We got to do something about our retirement. I'm done with my soap opera. All right. Next category, relationships and social life. Okay. I have come to a conclusion.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
I am not meant to be in a couple as far as having someone to rely on and take care of as I age, okay? I do need human contact. I do need someone who cares for me, and I do need social interaction. So that's why I have YouTube, because I do need people in my life. Do I need a significant other, as in a husband or fiance in my life? No, I don't. I don't want that in my life, because I don't want to have to do what that would require. Now, if you're in a relationship already and it's a good relationship, I suggest you do whatever you can to hang on to it. But if you're in a bad relationship, do whatever you can to get out of it, because you will be so much happier when you're no longer in that bad situation. And get a dog or a cat.
Get a dog.
Okay.
Didn't I? Was it? Oh, it was the monkeys. Monkeys singing, I'm going to buy me a dog. I'm sorry, I'm showing my age, but yeah, I think it was, wasn't it?
Okay, personal growth and development. Now, here is an area that we all can work on. That's right. DP with DJ says, Echo, I'm with you. No significant other for many years now. And then Regina's got 42 years with a wonderful husband. So, you know, some of us, it just works. And some of us, it just doesn't. And my track record tells me it doesn't for me.
My taste is only in my mouth, honey.
Yes, the answer for everything is fur babies. Yes, Ned, you are correct. And I have actually gotten a little bit attached to our bluefish named George.
Okay.
And he lives with me. he does belong to my granddaughter, but I am, responsible for him on the days that my granddaughter's not here to feed him. And when we went on vacation, we had to take George over to their house so Daddy could babysit George while we were gone. So we'll be doing that again.
Just an FYI, they do make tablets that you can put in the fish tank, and it releases it slowly, so it'll feed them up to a week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Just an FYI. Just in
I
case
might
Dad
have to
is
check into that. But for right now, it does make Daddy feel good that he's got to be responsible to keep the fish alive while we're gone, or get another one to replace it if something happens. So he's got his duty, what he's got to do. But when it comes to personal growth, I never, ever even thought about how much I could change, even in 1 year's time. Yes, his name is George.
I like that.
I did not know that the issues that I've had all my life could actually be changed as simply as me looking at it and working on it. Now, am I never, ever going to feel bad about myself again? No. But do I love myself today? I sure do. And it's funny how many people are like, there's something different about you. You've changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm not a doormat anymore. And I know how to say no. And I know how to set a boundary. And I also know how to stand up for that boundary and say, I'm so sorry I can't change it for you or anybody else. That's it. That's just what it is. And I have lost people in my life who didn't like the changes and who didn't like the boundaries. But boy, have I gained a lot of people who do like them. Look at him. He's like, I'm just going to wait. I know
He does. See, but he's already made the mess. See the mess at the doorway?
He's like, I'm going to do it every time.
Yeah. Misha asked, she goes, I haven't seen Beans or Boo today. Okay.
Yeah, they're there. Hey, and Chloe's actually being very good because she was out here earlier and she was barking at me. And I was like, no, you're going to go in your room. I'll give you the treats in there. So you don't sit here and bark the whole time. She really does think that when I'm talking to somebody on the computer, that means it's her treat time. And time for her to get the treat. So
oh yeah, she's gonna put on a show.
Yeah. But anyway, if you have okay, DJ says those who can't accept growth weren't meant to be in your life. Exactly. And you know what? That's a very important thing to learn, that it's not something about you that needs to be changed. It may be people in your life that need to be changed. And if you are a people pleaser like I was, I was last on the list. I wasn't even on the list, actually. It was like everybody else and never even think about myself. And so when I started making those changes and I started saying, okay, I kind of want to do this, or I kind of like that, and other people had problems with it, then I really had to look at those other people. I mean, I've had relationships and friendships in the past that ended, and I always would beat myself up about it and say, well, it was my fault. Why couldn't I have been nicer? Why didn't I do what they wanted? Now, if somebody leaves my life now, I'm like, see ya. I still love you, but you can't be in my inner circle anymore. That's just the way it goes, And it's kind of like you give yourself the permission to say, I'm more important than that other person's opinion of me, or what that other person wants from me. And I could never take a compliment, because if somebody gave me a compliment, I wanted to know, what is it they want? Why are they being nice to me? Why are they giving me a compliment? There must be something they think I can give them or do for them, or, like they have to have an ulterior motive.
Uh-huh.
But I would give people compliments strictly from my heart, saying, I really like that color on you, or I really like your Santa hat. And I mean that. But when they would say it to me, I would be like, well, what's wrong with my Santa hat? Why are they pointing out that I have a Santa hat on? And it's not until I realized that what they think doesn't really matter. It matters what I think about it. And if I like the Santa hat, by golly, I'm going to wear the Santa hat and be happy I'm wearing my Santa hat. But that's a hard thing to do when you have not loved yourself and thought that all the love you felt was love from other people, instead of maybe giving yourself a little bit of love, And like, I have all this love to give all these other people. And how much was I giving myself? 0. And so now that I actually give myself a little bit of love, does it mean I love other people less? No. Your love like multiplies. I was trying to explain this to my daughter because she feels like that I feel differently about my granddaughter than I feel about her.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
That happens a lot.
Very, very true. You are my child. You came from me and your dad. And I was responsible. I had to raise you to be a good person. Okay. Now I have a granddaughter. She has a mother and a father that have to raise her to be a good person. I, on the other hand, get to teach her what love is. Pure love that I have for her, that doesn't have any strings attached. I don't have any other agenda. I'm not trying to get her to cooperate because I need her to be a good person. I just get to love her. And that's totally different. Now, does one love take away from the other love? No. My heart just exploded when that grandchild came into the picture, But my daughter just
fill them up with sugar and send them home.
Exactly. And my granddaughter has a stomach virus. And that was the first thing my daughter said to me. She threw up. What did you feed her? And I'm like, the normal stuff we always have every weekend. There was nothing out of the ordinary that she had. Then my daughter says, well, there was a stomach bug going around the school. Oh, well, okay, maybe it's that. Maybe it's not what Granny gave her to eat, But love is love is love. And you feel love for different people for different reasons. I love Chloe. And some people don't understand that kind of love. That you can love an animal. I know she's an animal, but she loves me. I can tell by the way she acts towards me that she loves me. And that's all I need to know. I don't have to be a scientist and figure out, well, a dog really can't love you. Yeah, mine does. Okay. And I believe other people's animals love them too. And I don't have a problem with that. Some people do. My ex-husband, his dad was a coon hunter. They would go hunting for the raccoons, and he had coon dogs, and they kept the dogs in cages outside with the raccoon in a cage too, so that they would know what it was they were trying to get, And so when he met me and I was like, I want a dog in the house, he was like, are you out of your mind? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I've been raised with having pets, And so as much as he disliked it, he allowed me to have my pets because he knew it meant something to me. I don't.
But also, pets are different than working animals.
Yes,
if that makes sense.
Well, and I tried to explain that those dogs were not pets; they had a job to do, and that's what they did.
Working. They're working.
And my dogs were pets. But that's just the kind of person he is and the way he was raised. But that doesn't mean that he couldn't allow me to do, what it was I wanted as far as the pets go. And I do feel like, especially if you want something to nurture and to take care of, and you haven't had children yet, it's really a good idea to get you a pet, because if you can deal with the pet and all their issues, it'll better prepare you to actually have your child. You know, a lot of people think I'm gonna have a baby and get a puppy at the same time. Won't that be fun? And then it's
That's
like,
a lot of piddling all at once.
yeah. So start with the pet.
That's a
If
lot of
you can,
piddling.
if you can think, if you can keep the dog alive, the puppy alive, then you got a better chance. Tiff says, my dog thinks I'm her job. Yeah, I think Chloe does too, because Chloe gives me looks sometimes like, where have you been? What have you been doing? It's like, you need to come to bed. Mind you, there is nothing on this earth closer to pure unconditional love than that of a fur baby. Till I get to go home, the hugs from my girls and Bruce are a bit of heaven on earth. Exactly. And some of us, I think, have more love to give than others do. And that's not a negative thing about somebody else. It's just, if you know that you have a lot of love to give, you need things to be able to give that love to. So, consider having a pet. That's just,
If you
and
can.
it's great for your mental health too, because you feel good that you provided a home for the animal, you feed the animal, you take care of their needs. And I get excited when Chloe gets excited, I get excited. It's like, even though she can't talk to me, we do communicate.
Well, also, I mean, I don't want to, but I'm going to. Also, they have care animals, and they'll take them to like rest homes and senior centers. And it's amazing how the fur babies will calm their high blood pressure and things like that. If it just comes to visit once a week, all of a sudden things start changing in their body. It does. It just relaxes your metabolism as well.
And it also gives you something gives those
a little
people
bit of
something to
endorphins.
look forward to. They, if they know, oh, on Mondays the dog comes, whatever. And then I have known people who have had service animals that helped them be able to calm down and do better in social situations because of their fur baby. So there's a lot of it. That's right. They can't be all bad if the best judges in character think I'm worthy of their love. Exactly. And if an animal doesn't like somebody, that is a good indication. A child or an animal, they don't like somebody. Look at that. Think about that, because it's like a red flag. There's a reason that they don't like them. And I trust that. I trust that. Hello, Deborah. Welcome. All
Yeah,
right.
it'll definitely get the hairs on the back of my neck standing up. It's like,
Mhm.
why are you acting like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Recreation and leisure. My daughter says I have too many hobbies now. I went from being someone who had zero hobbies and thought they were the most uncreative person in the world, to now I have lots of hobbies and I do feel like I am creative, as you can tell by my wall behind me. So, can you have too many hobbies? Can you spend too much money on hobbies? Yes. There is a hobby of buying crafting supplies. That's a separate hobby. Then there's the hobby of actually doing the different crafts. Okay. So, yes, you can spend too much money on crafting things and you can get too many projects going on. But can you ever have too many creative outlets? I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think there's a line though. I really do. of
Well,
creative outlets and buying crafts and the gonna list
yes.
can really overwhelm you, if you're
And
not
how
going to
about
follow through, so.
just stockpiling things in general?
Hmm.
You can get so bogged down into, I got to get it now while I got the money, or I got to get it while it's on sale, or, that's that we don't know what the future holds syndrome. And, you can't live in a place that's so cluttered that you can't move around. Okay. So I'm not suggesting anybody become a hoarder and spend their life savings on stuff. I personally am not materialistic. My favorite place to shop is Goodwill. And, I know most of the things there are because somebody passed away, and that's okay. Because that person might have had the same taste as me, and I will love whatever they had. But I don't believe in trying to buy somebody's love, buy somebody's affection. I don't believe in keeping things around that you don't use. I do believe in donating. I don't believe in putting a lot of things in landfills. I do kind of like to find someone who might need that item and they can give it a new home as opposed to just throwing it in the garbage. But I've been trying to downsize for years.
Uh-huh.
When I had a 3-bedroom house, my daughter said it was like having her own Walmart, that anything she needed, I bet my mom has that. And she would come and she would literally shop my house. Well, she still does that. Matter of fact, she called me the other day and said, "Do you have snowflake wrapping paper?" And I said, "No, I don't." Oh, I said, "Why?" "Well, we're decorating our hallway at school and it's Winter Wonderland theme, and I need snowflake wrapping paper to decorate my door. And
Okay.
before I go buy any, I wanted to see if you had some." And I'm like, "No, I don't have snowflake wrapping paper." I used to be the person that went to the after Christmas sale,
Oh
bought
yeah.
the wrapping paper and the bows, and but I don't do that anymore because I
Right.
don't buy a whole lot of presents. So, I don't have to do that. But anyway, she's still pretty much, "Mom, do you have this? Mom, do you have that?" So whenever I do get stuff ready to donate or get rid of, I say, "Here's a box, look through it, take what you want, the rest I'm donating,"
Right.
because she will want it sometime or another.
Right.
Now, she between her and her husband, they make a decent living. But something free from mom's house
Right.
is the best. You
Yeah.
know, I had this 9 by 13 nonstick pan that has a lid that snaps onto it. It's like to bake a cake in or something. My daughter likes to make this crescent roll sausage and cream cheese casserole.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. And
No
she
calories
makes it
there.
in a 9 by 13 pan. They only eat about half of it the first day.
Uh-huh.
So she wanted the pan with the lid on it so that she'd keep the other half, to the next day.
Uh-huh.
So every time she wanted to cook that, "Mom, I need to borrow your pan with the lid."
Uh-huh.
Well, I no longer cook. The biggest thing I make now is my bone broth, and I have a big stock pot that I use for that. But
Right.
as far as like putting stuff in the oven and cooking a big pan full of something, I don't do that.
Right.
And I definitely don't bake cakes. So I said to her, "Just take the pan. It's old, but, you're more than welcome to it." And she said, "Well, I'll buy myself one eventually, but I really like yours." And I said, "I know you do. Just take my pan. It's okay." But that's why I haven't just gone through and just got rid of everything I don't need,
Right.
because I know there are things that she's, going to ask for. Same thing with my granddaughter and her little school projects. I am now in charge of all school projects because I have all the stuff to make the We did a
Right.
scarecrow. We had to hide a turkey. You know, anything that has to be done crafty wise like that is my job now. Okay, I'll take that. You know,
Sounds
I have
like
craft.
a fun time to spend with the grandbaby,
Yeah,
doing crafty stuff.
yeah, sure. Um, Tiff said, I just love that though. I like it when I can give to my daughter, although I haven't been a shop, lol. Exactly. And another thing I did when my daughter was little, I worked at Walmart. I could get shoes, children's shoes on clearance, because every season they clearance them out, go to the next season.
Uh-huh.
I would buy shoes a few sizes bigger each time. I had a closet full of shoes. So growing up, my daughter thought like everybody had a shoe closet that had all kinds of shoes in the closet.
Hmm.
And it wasn't until she was like in middle school and I said, not everybody has a choice of all these shoes. Some kids might have one pair of shoes, two pairs of shoes. That might be it.
Right.
So now with her daughter, she doesn't get them on clearance like I did,
Uh-huh.
but she will buy that child three or four pairs of shoes for each season. And then, like, she got a pair of red shoes for a Minnie Mouse costume for Halloween, but they
Okay.
have actually came in handy for all the dress up days for Christmas at
Okay.
school. But those kind of things, if you want your child to have those things, then you need to be able to afford to do that. And if you can't, and you can get it at Goodwill or you can get it secondhand somewhere, you know, the kid doesn't really care where it came from. They just
No,
want what they want.
especially
So
at that
I'm
age.
I'm pleased to see that my daughter does buy my granddaughter clothes and shoes and toys and make sure that she's having the kind of childhood that my daughter had. That makes me very happy as a parent to know that my daughter had a good childhood because she's able to give her daughter a good childhood. If she had
Uh-huh.
had a bad childhood, I don't know that she would do everything that she does now.
Okay.
Oh, Miss Angela must be cooking. I'm sorry for not chatting. Our son and grandson are leaving to head back out of town. Oh, if y'all have not checked out Angela Critter's channel and her recipes, oh my goodness, you have to check them out. Every time I watch them, I'm like, oh, there's another one I got to try. I'm going to have so many recipes to try. It's not funny.
I tried, and I made a video of it. Needless to say, I threw it away because it was horrible. I tried and made a video of that candied cranberries. Has anybody seen those videos?
I have. They're
What
not
a
good.
mess. What a mess. They're just a mess. They're just a mess, folks. They're just, when I got done, I went, I am not about to even show this unless I'm show it as a blooper, like beware, because this is,
A what
it was,
not to make, huh?
yeah, it was just, none of them were nice and fluffy. They did end up crispy, but to cover them completely like they asked to and no 1 cup of powdered sugar. It took me like 4 just to get a partial cup. I mean, it was just, and it still didn't get them covered. It was just, yeah. So it's like, yeah, you were talking about recipes, and I'm like, trust Angela Critters or whoever it was, trust them, because the ones out there don't,
Yeah.
I
No,
went,
Miss Angela shows you the finished product, like she shows you everything. It's not like you're going to be going, well, and because I like to know what it's supposed to look like when it's done.
well,
You know,
and if you notice what they do, and then once I did it, and then I watched back over these few creators that's made them, and I looked at them and I thought, they're not showing me the bowl. They take the one and they put it in their mouth and they go crunch. Well, yeah, mine will do that, but the thumbnail you're showing me is AI. It doesn't look like that.
hello, Miss Edna. Welcome. Don't you dare worry about being late. You know, we come on and we get to chit chatting, so we're always willing and ready for y'all to come in anytime. Don't
And
worry about
whatever
that.
time you come in is the right time you're supposed to be in.
That's exactly right. That's when you're supposed to come in. And I'm going to give Miss Edna a plug. She does bingos on Thursday afternoonish evening, depending upon where you're at. Stephanie went in and played, and BJ went in and played. So I appreciate that. Miss Norma's fixing to have bingo at 4 o'clock today on her channel. Real Life Happens. So if you like bingo and you want to go have some fun and some laughs, you need to check out the bingo ladies. And I keep saying I'm going to make a list of when they're on, but I haven't done it. But there's Joe from Have At It, Miss Edna, KK, and Miss Edna. Does it say I love bingo?
With Betty Boop and bingo cards. See the bingo cards? Isn't that too cute? I was going to wear that today. And now I must have known you were coming. I had some. A friend of mine gave that to me for Christmas one year. So
yeah. Cute.
Yeah, isn't that adorable? So I had to run and go get it.
Okay, so
keep plugging.
We've heard a lot about my goals. What are y'all going to be doing in 2026? I didn't really talk about my YouTube goals because, you know, YouTube is fickle and funny, and you don't ever know. I don't really keep up with my numbers, so to speak, as far as, oh, I want to hit this milestone or do this or do that or whatever. And in my members only post for today, I actually forgot Journey Mirror and didn't put her on there. And it wasn't until she commented and said, and me, I was like, oh no. And I went in there and I added her in there. So if I ever forget anybody, you know, like I don't like have a number of how many members I have, and I'll be typing out the names and I might forget somebody. I need to actually find out what the number is, and then I can double check myself. But anyway, I do appreciate all of my members very, very much. And I know that times are tough for everybody. And if you need to drop your membership, please take care of yourself. I don't need the money that bad. I need it, but I don't need it that bad. I do have a daughter and a son-in-law, and I can always cry to them, you know. So, and matter of fact, my tire is still at the repair shop because I told the young man I'm not in any hurry. Well, it's been a week, and I've not heard a word.
Well, yeah. You're in Georgia, and you tell them you're not in a hurry.
Yeah.
Even when they're in a hurry, they don't move very fast. I'm sorry, honey.
I'm thinking it because it's a weird size and it's a weird car, and he's probably not having luck finding one at a junkyard, and I'm probably going to have to buy a new one. And he probably doesn't want to break that news to me, so he's probably waiting for me to call him back. But
I doubt if he's doing anything.
Hello, Darcy. Yes, you need to get your YouTube channel going. Yes, you do. Oh, Stephanie says, I love the book shout out you did. I shared it out. Yes, I've got those books right here. My people, friends of mine that have books out there, y'all go check out that video. You can order them from Amazon. With the exception of Journey Mirror, you have to get hers through Barnes and Noble or through herself. But that's an easy way. You get something and you're supporting someone. So that's just really easy, especially at Christmas time. It's easy to do that.
Oh, yeah. Misha says she wants to build the village with amazing people.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Hopefully we can work a little more on the village this coming year.
I just want to build a village with amazing people. That's my goal for the year, that and to make it through unscathed. Yeah, we all want to make it to the end of 2026 because, like I said, we don't know what's coming. But
We still got to get to the end of 2025.
you know, it's going to be a good. I think it's going to be a good year. I'm going to stay positive, and I'm going to try to be positive and encourage all of you that it's going to be a good year. And yes, I want to build the village too. Um, I think we do have amazing people, and I think we have people that have a lot to share that just haven't figured, like haven't found their voice or haven't found their way yet to
Mhm.
do that.
Mhm.
And with some love and some encouragement, I really think we can make that happen. And I do want to thank you again, Ned, for last night. You were amazing at going through my computer. Ugh, I'm still in just total shock of all the stuff that I had that I don't need. But that's what you get when you buy something and you don't know nothing about what you're doing, and you just
And you
say
just plug it in and go, right?
it plugged in, it connected to the internet. Guess what? I'm using it. Not smart, but hey, that's why I have friends who know things that I don't know. Because when I get in trouble, they come to my rescue.
Right. Well, I agree with Misha, one day at a time. Yeah, I agree with her because being an addict and stuff like that, it was, 1 second at a time. So I'm
Mhm.
down to at least one day at a time. So, but it's to make goals and things like that, and to make a yearly goal. I mean, look at how much has changed in your life in 2025.
I
Would you
know.
have 2024 made those kind of goals for yourself?
I
No, it
no.
did. The
I
world
didn't know
just
it was
kind of evolved
possible.
and happened that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Huh?
I wouldn't even have thought it possible. So I know I wouldn't have made those goals. But I think because of having gone through what I've gone through, now I see that there is a future. And it's a
There's more
future
possibilities.
that I can try to continue improving in that future. But also, one of my biggest goals is trying to live in the moment because I have always lived in the past or way far in the future. I have a hard time with the here and now. And, I want to be able to look around the corner. I want to know what's coming. And I don't like that feeling of, okay, we'll just wait and see what happens. But
Mhm.
my granddaughter is really helping with me with that because she doesn't think very far ahead.
Right.
You know, I mean, I've gotten her to where now she'll say, okay, we're going to have lunch, we're going to go play, and then I'm going to take a nap. All right. So she's got about the next 3 or 4 hours planned out, and we go with that.
That's
But
good.
before, it was like 90 to nothing all the time, no plan. It was like one thing after another. But she is getting to where, okay, we got to know what we're doing. What are we doing
Mhm.
today? But she definitely keeps me in the moment,
Oh
and
yeah,
she doesn't let me get
makes
in
you
my
be
head.
present. You have to be present with her. Yes.
Yes, and she can tell as soon as Granny is off in Never Never Land thinking, she'll be like, Granny, what you doing? And it's like, oh, nothing. It's like, yeah, I was way out there somewhere. I don't even know where I was at. But I think it is important for us to live in the present, but to know that we do have some sort of future to look forward to. And we can make a difference in our own lives, and we can make a difference in other people's lives too. And that's something I didn't know if I was doing or not. I always kind of wondered. But now I actually have people in my world that say you make a difference. And now I know what I'm doing and what I put my time into is worthwhile doing it.
Do
So
you hear it
help
though?
me.
Do you hear it when they say that to you? Do you hear it?
I do hear it.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That's
And
good
now, do I believe it
because that's one of those
100%?
compliments. You're taking it in now, so
Yeah.
that's a good thing. Yeah.
And now I can actually, you know, think about it and logically say, okay, okay, I can see that. You know, Whereas before it would have been like, yeah, what do you want? Why are you telling me this? Why are you saying this to me?
Uh-huh.
And now I don't, that's not my first thought. My
Right.
first thought now is thank you. Thank you, Lord, that somebody gets what I'm saying or whatever. That's my first thought. But
Mhm.
before it was always, okay, oh, what do they want? What do they want? What,
Yeah.
you know.
Uh-huh.
But I
Okay.
still don't think you can let everybody in all the way 100%. Some people just can't handle that, you know.
Right.
And I think we have friends. It's kind of like degrees, Some people are good at like 160 degrees. Some are better at 90 degrees. Some are better, And
Yeah.
it's kind of like you have to figure out who those people are, and then you're not affected so much by how they react to you because
Right.
they're not right here with you. So
Yeah.
if
It
they're
depends
off,
how far they are in your bubble, is a good way of putting it. How
yeah,
far are they? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because there are some people that you would say, now I know I could pick up the phone at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, I really need to talk about this. And that
Hmm.
person would answer the phone and be like, okay, what is it we need to do? What's going on? Then
Hmm.
there's other people that you could call and set up an appointment to talk to them days in advance. And still, when you call them, they're not ready to talk to you.
Yeah, and maybe they'll show up.
You know, so it's kind of like you really have to know who those people are.
Hi,
And then
BJ.
you have to respect the fact that, some people just can't do it. It's not anything about you. And it's maybe not even nothing about them. Maybe that's just the way that it is. And we
Hmm.
have to be able to accept people where they're at, wherever they're at,
Right.
instead of I want everybody in here. And
Oh,
that's
no,
not going to happen.
I
It's
can't do
not
that.
going to happen.
I can't do that.
And I still believe there are good people out there, but I also believe there are people who will lie to your face if
Mm.
there's something they think you can help them do or they can get from you or whatever that might be.
Oh, yeah. There's a
And
lot of users out there.
yeah. And it's kind of like, well, how do I love everybody yet I can't trust certain people? And
Mm.
and I think trusting them with your life is totally different from being able to say, I wish the best for you, you know?
Mhm.
I wouldn't let you drive me somewhere, but it's like I don't know that I trust you to take me somewhere, but I love you.
Mhm.
And I think that's the thing. I think we have to be able to be okay with those different relationships with different people and not be like, well, but I want everybody to feel the same way about me and I want them to feel the same way about everybody else. That's something I've had to learn this year.
Uh-huh.
Just because I like somebody doesn't mean somebody else is going to like them.
Right.
And you know what? That's okay.
Yeah.
They don't have to like your friends, and you don't have to like their friends
Yeah.
to be their friend, you know?
I
And
have a
and
lot
that,
of friends like that
yeah,
where, you know, the our arms reach out these directions, but their arms reach out those directions. So it's fine. And
yeah,
also it's kind of interesting because when you get together, then you have of more of an open discussion because we've had different experiences while we were separated, if that makes difference. If
yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, and it's like I'll use my two best girlfriends as examples, Miss Loretta and Miss Kathy.
Uh,
Now, Miss Loretta is the kind of person who I can go 3 months, not hear from her, not get a text from her, not know anything about what's going on in her world. But if something happens, she needs support, she will reach out.
uh-huh.
And it's almost like we have that kind of understanding. It's like we're not a day to day kind of friendship. We don't need that person in our life, in our business all the time.
Hmm.
But if we want to share something, they're there and we have that support. And then I have Miss Kathy, who on the other hand, I talk to her probably every day or every other day. I know all about, what's going on with her and her kids and her, work life and, everything. But she's that kind of person that likes to share what's going on and likes to have somebody to talk to about those kind of things.
Right.
Now, I feel just as close to both of them. I know I can count on both of them. But if I want more of a day-to-day kind of thing, I'm going to tell Miss Kathy.
Right.
If it's something major that I really just want to unload, I'll tell Loretta.
Right.
And it's like you learn how they're going to react and how they're going to handle things. And then which way you need to go depending upon how you're feeling or what it is that you need. Whereas before, I thought, you're my friend. You're supposed to read my mind. You're supposed to be able to figure out what it is I need from you.
Right.
You can't read somebody's mind,
No.
And so it's taken me all these years to learn that Loretta's not calling me very often doesn't mean she doesn't care about me.
Mm-hmm.
Just means that's not Loretta, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Kathy. Some days I'm like, Kathy, my God, you're going to tell me how many times you went to the bathroom? Come on, I don't need to know this. But she needs to tell somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm there because she needs to have that conversation.
Right.
Whereas somebody else wouldn't need to have that conversation.
Right.
So I really think it depends on what you expect out of a relationship and a friendship and what you're willing to give to that relationship and that friendship.
Right.
I hate texting because I don't know, what was the tone behind that? What was the expression behind that? Were you being sarcastic or were you being serious? It's like, okay. So many people have had arguments over a text message because you take it the way you think they mean it, and that's not at all what they meant. My daughter called me the other day and was mistalkative. And I was on the other line with my insurance company, and I had been on hold for 45 minutes. And I was ready to get my daughter off the phone so that I could hurry up and, be back for that call. And by the time I got my daughter off the phone, that call had hung up. And I had to start the process all over again. Okay. But then I had to apologize to my daughter and say, I'm sorry I was a little short with you on the phone. But when I explained the whole situation, she said, Mom, you should have started with that. You should have said, I'm on hold. I've been on hold 45 minutes. Let me go. I'll call you back. But that's my daughter calling me. I got to find out what's wrong. What does she need? And so instead of taking care of what I was trying to take care of, I put that off because I wanted to make sure my daughter was okay.
Yeah. So, well, you were talking about texting, and I swear by texting. Some days it's just completely impossible for me to answer the phone.
Oh,
completely impossible. I cannot talk on the phone. I cannot. It won't happen. And I mean, to this day, let's see. My doctor called and left a message because I didn't answer the phone. It's right before they were answering the door. I don't answer the phone. Called Monday, a week ago, and wanted me to call them back because my doctor wants to talk to me. I couldn't call them back. I haven't been able to call them back yet. So texting for me and people like me is a godsend.
Oh, I mean, it's great.
With anyone.
It's great it's great for when it's, you can't talk, but I know people who they never pick up the phone and talk or never talk like we talk in person, it's strictly texting. And I feel so like it's so cold and impersonal. And most of the time I have to read the text 2 or 3 times before I respond because I'll be like, oh, I really read that wrong. When the first time through, I was like, what? And then it's like, oh, no, you're asking me a question. You're not telling. Okay, I got you,
DP. Good point. Good point. Texting. It's quick to the point. You can answer it when you want to. And me personally, I've gotten on the phone with somebody and it's just like it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. And I'm like, honey, I gotta go potty, or honey, I gotta go, I gotta finish dinner or whatever it is, back in the day. But yeah, so I'm a big texter.
Oh, I didn't even see that Norma was here. Hello, Norma. You're not having bingo?
What time is
Or
bingo? Is it right now?
are you doing both? She might be.
Text is the only way I communicate. Well, you did good at reading lips Friday night, BJ.
Hi, BJ. I didn't see you pop in either.
Oh, he's been here for a while.
I know. I always forget
did,
that my screen doesn't automatically keep up. I have to like scroll.
Oh, okay. He did oh my gosh, I just lost her name. Carol Burnett thing. I think it's what he said. He just put out a Carol Burnett short. Yeah. I'm sure texting is the only way.
Did you enjoy Carol Burnett?
A lot of problems too, Lucy. Especially when we're dealing with the doctors and such. Yeah. That my sleep schedule. Yeah. I if I don't have to, talking on the phone is ugh.
Oh, Norma is sick. She's got a bad cough and a headache.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey.
But she's up there in Ohio, and it's very cold.
Yeah.
Very.
Are you in Northern Ohio? Is that
I'm not
Ohio
sure Ohio is cold, period. Yeah. And I think everybody is trying not to get sick.
Yeah, it's just a change in the weather. Yeah.
Yeah. But
it happened really abruptly here.
I'm like so glad
the
technology and being able to do a private live where I can just send somebody the link and they can pop in and we can chat and I get to see them and that kind of thing makes it where I feel like, yeah, I do know these people, even though I've never met them in person, because I do get to see them on the screen. Hey, Izzy Pop. I guess Izzy Pop is there on your side.
Yep.
Yeah, Izzy Pop.
Say it one more time.
Norma, Izzy Pop. You have to say
there it is. Yay! You gotta hit her 3 times. You know me and my 3s.
Okay, she's Southwest Ohio.
Okay. Southwest.
Yes, and Ned is telling me about the meets. Yes, you can go on Google Meets and do the same thing. You can also do it on Zoom and be able to see the people. And Awaken said they're going to be doing another movie night soon. Oh, okay, cool. That would be fun. Oh, she got 5 inches of snow. Oh. Yeah, I'll put you on my prayer list. I got so many people have had surgery and been in the hospital. My baby's Nana was taking care of her ex-husband Steve that had open heart surgery. He ended up getting put back in the hospital and now she has pneumonia. She went to the doctor. They told her she had bronchitis. She was still feeling bad. She went to the emergency room and she's got pneumonia. So she's laid up. He's laid up in the hospital and she's laid up at home. So that is not good. Oops. There we go. But anyway, all this talking about, going into 2026, it's a time of renewal, a new start of a new year, but to a lot of people, it's just another month, They don't celebrate the holidays. It doesn't matter to them what month it is, what day it is. And that's something that we all need to be aware of, that some people do the best they can to get through each day. And those of us who, can be cheerful and happy about things, sometimes we rub people the wrong way because they don't think we're understanding or we don't get them, so to speak. But we just have to be respectful of each other and realize that a lot of people struggle. And I struggled for years silently with thinking nobody knew. I had that mask on. I didn't think anybody could tell. But people know, and people are there, and you can reach out and you can talk to somebody. And that's the whole thing behind the village. Everybody's different. I don't know that there's even 2 or 3 people that suffer with the same situation. I think most of them are all, it's something different. But because you know what suffering is, you can relate to somebody else's suffering, even though you might not understand it completely. It might not be what you deal with, but it's still something that you can be aware of, and you can be supportive of somebody. All the yuck there is, the love and happy are the only things I want to hold on to. That's right, Ned. That's right.
Isn't it cute? She calls you Ned.
I can't say Misha. I say Misha. Every time I say it, I say it.
You have both, in your chat. You have the Misha, and then you have Misha.
Misha, yeah.
So.
But I always tend to say it.
And she loves Ned.
So Ned is easy. Yeah. And I know who I'm talking about when I say Ned. Nobody else might be. They might be like, "Who's Ned? I don't see Ned." And then I know a lot of people think that it's a boy, a male, Ned. And it's like, no, it's a girl.
It's a wet Ned.
Yeah.
19 degrees. Holy smokes, honey bunny.
No wonder you're cold.
Good gracious. Be kind. Aren't those beautiful words? Two
is.
little words.
Right.
2 little words that says so much.
I like that saying. In this world, you can be anything you want to do or be. So be kind.
Yeah.
It goes a long way. It really does go a long way.
Yeah. And the wind is really blowing out there.
Too many people have built walls up, and they're not going to accept your kindness anyway, but that doesn't mean we stop trying.
Yeah.
I have one neighbor here.
Don't change your ways for somebody else.
Yeah. But I had this one neighbor here, and every time he goes down the stairs and out, he looks in my windows. Mm-hmm. And I've passed him before. I've said hello to him before. I've been out on my patio and he's walked by, and I've said, "Hey, how you doing?" He will not speak to me. He will not acknowledge me. But by gosh, he will look in my window every time he goes by and see what's going on,
Yeah. I guess Tuesday night, 8:00 Central. Yeah, on the village. Tiff, yeah, and Ned and I will be together talking about the holidays and things like that, and how it affects different people and things like that. So, and the new year coming, all of that happens all at the same time. So it's like it can get very overwhelming with people.
Yeah,
yeah, but
yeah,
I don't know about this nosy Rosie, but a lot of people, it's just like looking at a TV that's moving. They're not watching what's on TV. It's moving. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm never, which I have my blinds up because I have plants in my windowsill, and I have
Uh-huh.
plants in my living room that need the sunlight. So I always have my blinds up. But I mean, I'm never half naked or doing
Flashing
anything
one time, breaking
odd.
from it.
Most of the time I'm sitting in my recliner. It's not like he's seeing anything, but it's just odd how, you know, you would think if he wanted to reach out, he would, because I have tried to several times, but he doesn't. It's just like,
Yeah, you gotta wake him up when he goes by and does that. Just you don't have to flash him, but just gotta go. Just
I'm gonna have to
wake
like
him up. Like I see
open
you
my
spraying my
door and be
window.
like, what are you looking at? What are you seeing in there? And any of you
Yeah.
members that are in here, our members only live is not going to be Tuesday. It's going to be Thursday night because I want to be there to support Body Illusion and Tiff and Ned. And their thing is at 8, and I had mine scheduled for 8:30. So I moved mine to Thursday so that I don't have to worry about that. Me too, Tiff. I suggest Kleenexes. You might cry for sad, might cry from laughing, probably both. One thing's for sure, it'll be a great conversation. Yes, definitely. Definitely. And you're right. We barely get over Thanksgiving, and it's Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then a
A
week
week
later,
later.
New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody ever get like really not looking forward to New Year's Day? Like you liked the year before a lot better, and
Oh no.
you're like, I'm not ready for it to change to a new year. I have a
With
neighbor who
celebrating
makes
New Year's, yeah.
sure
Yeah.
everyone knows she doesn't like the world. I just smile and say hi to her. I tell you, I have a lot of older ladies that live in my community, and they all have the little rollator walkers with the
Right.
seats on them. And our mailboxes have a roof over top of it, and on the other side, it's covered a place like a little patio, because
Mm-hmm.
it's also the bus stop for the kids going to school, right?
Oh, okay.
But so in the afternoons, the little old ladies go and sit on their walkers around the mailboxes waiting for the mailman to come.
Of course they do. Yeah.
And so when I come home, I stop, I get out, I go check my mailbox, I get back in the car and I go. I usually say hi if I see them, or, if they say anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I have this floor lamp that my daughter gave me that's about 5 different colors. The lamp shades are different colors.
Right.
And when I had that lamp on at night, you can see the colors through the window. So I get out one day to get my mail, and one of the ladies says to me, "Where'd you get that lamp?" And I'm like, "My lamp?" They're like, "Yeah, the one with the bright colors. I can see it every time you turn it on. I can see the colors. And I'm like, "Oh, well, my daughter gave it to me because I was complaining I needed a brighter light to be able to read by." She said, "Oh, okay." She said, "Well, it sure is pretty." And I'm thinking, y'all been up here talking about my colorful lamp over there. You ain't got nothing better to talk about. But talk
But it's
about me
good.
with my window
It's good. They're
blinds
going to talk
open.
about their neighbors. That's what they do. You know, winter
Yeah,
holidays are in a world. Yeah, it is. It is. It goes. Whew, whew. Yeah,
I look forward to a new day and what it might bring.
that's good, sweetheart. That's
I
lovely.
actually, I don't know who I was talking to about this because, I talked to so many
Bye,
of you.
Izzy. Bye, Izzy. Bye, Izzy.
Hi, Izzy. And this is one reason why I try not to tell lies,
Goodness.
because I can't remember who I talked to and who I told what to. So anyway, I was having a conversation with someone, and we were talking about the changes we've made in our life in the last year, and that, we feel like we actually have a future now, whereas before, my health, I didn't know how much time I had. I wasn't getting any better. I was definitely getting sicker. And now I don't feel that way. Now I feel like I am healthier. And I do think I have a future now. And I'm happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I never, ever really have looked forward to my future. And I think it's because so many negative things were happening that it was kind of like, what's going to happen next? You know,
Mhm.
if something really bad's going to happen, I don't want that to happen, you know, so don't think about that, you know.
Mhm.
And now it's kind of like, yeah, I'm going to live to be an old, old lady. And I'm happy about that, you know.
Well, good.
It's just you got to change your mindset because I went from being depressed and lonely and unhealthy and thinking, well, if I just give up, you know, nothing I'm doing is helping, so maybe I should just stop everything. To wow, having my weight loss surgery and losing weight and finding out that most of my problems were because of the weight that I'd carried for years and years and years, and nobody could make me understand that. You know, it's
Mhm.
like, wow, I'm so glad I got the message, and I'm glad it wasn't too late for me. And I hope it's not too late for anybody else. You know,
Mhm.
there's always something. Don't let any doctor tell you there's no hope. There's always hope. There's always something. It might be hard, and it might be radical. You know, you might be like, I would never do what she did. Okay, well, I'm happy I did what I did. You know, it's not for everybody, but I was thankful I wasn't too old to try, you know,
Mhm.
because I really thought there would be like, they would be like, are you crazy? You're past the mark and we don't do it, you know.
Right.
And that doctor said, well, we do it up till 74. I was like, wow, okay. I'm not too late then. I could do it, you know. But never had clicked in my head before. I always said I was heavy because of my illnesses. I never realized I was sick because of my weight.
Right. It was the other way around. Your illnesses was because of your weight
Right,
instead of your weight because of your illnesses.
right. And is that because it's easier to accept I'm sick because I have illnesses? It's too hard to accept I'm sick because I'm fat? I don't know. But
Were you
that's
always a big
how,
girl? Were you always a big girl?
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, of course, not when I was 5, but from, I mean, you can look at my school pictures, and from about 8 years old, it was just more and more and more and more and more.
Oh, is 8 years started getting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I really think I couldn't admit that to myself because then I would have to be responsible for that. It was
Or
kind of,
that, or you'd been that way for so long. It's just that's the way you were. Like I'm a redhead, so that's just the way I am. I'm just a redhead. It's just that's just the way I am. If that makes sense.
yeah.
Possible a biodirectical relationship. Well, that is a word, honey.
Yeah.
One of them college
Well, and
words.
you know, it's kind of like um something's being done to you, you're not doing something to yourself.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
You can look at it, it's somebody else's fault
Right.
or it's your fault.
Right.
And I think it's easier to say it was somebody else's fault. It wasn't my
Yeah.
fault.
It's my thyroid's fault. It's my pancreas's fault. It's
Yes.
my yeah.
Yes. Yes. And so to be able to finally say, you know, even though those things were wrong, I still put the food in my mouth.
Mhm.
You know, I am still ultimately responsible. But for nobody, for no doctor in all those years to be able to get me to understand
Yeah.
until I was ready to understand, until I could see it myself.
Uh-huh.
Then I could do something about it. But until then, it was being done to me. It
Right.
was a reaction to this or that or whatever. It was never my fault. It wasn't.
Mhm.
And I didn't see where I could do anything to change it either, you
Mhm.
know? So I think that's part of it, that you have to, um yeah, I had a hormone imbalance. I mean, I had a lot of different things, and I'm sure a lot of it was caused by that. But it's kind of like, if you're already a little bit overweight, what's the sense? You can get a little more overweight, you know? And to think that you're overweight but you're functioning, so I'm okay. I may be a big girl, but I'm functioning.
Right.
But then to be able to look at it after losing the weight, now to know that, yeah, I was existing, I wasn't living,
Yeah.
you know. So it is different the way I'm looking at it. And I'm not saying that there aren't plenty of people that are sick and overweight due to medical conditions. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that in my case, it was easier for me to think of it as something being done to me instead of something I was doing. Because you know what? I would have had to been in control to
Right.
do it to myself. And I never felt in control of my life.
Hmm. Well, you gave everybody else control.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody else had control
And
of your
until
life.
I realized I can be in control of my life,
Mhm.
or that I should be in control of my life, that I shouldn't let other people do that, you know, like it has to be about me, for me. And that's what made the difference,
Mhm.
because now I can be in control, and I was never in control before.
Right.
And that has a lot to do with it too, being able to do it and get the results that I've gotten because I've taken control of it. I'm
Hmm.
not waiting for somebody else to do something that's going to make it work for me, you know? So yeah, it's a big mental shift in the
Right.
way that you think about yourself and things that affect you, you know? And a lot of it is scary to even think about. It's easier just to like, yeah, I don't want to see that stuff, you know?
Right.
But
Or I'll look at it later. I'll look at it
yeah,
later.
yeah, just push it to the back. It's okay. Nobody has to know. But everybody knows anyway. You're the only one that doesn't see it.
Mhm.
You know? And that's okay. But there comes a point where you have to decide, either I'm going to continue living like I'm living, or I'm going to look at those scary things and I'm going
Right.
to change the way I'm living. And then it's like you can do one little thing. You can look at one little piece, and it like gives you the confidence to say, what else is going on in there? You know, what else? Why do I think this? Why do I think that? You know, it's like I
Mhm.
had so many thoughts in my head that were so wrong and so illogical. And why did you believe it? You know, but it was just what I did. I just
Right.
believed what other people told me, and what other
Mhm.
people believed about me, what other people thought about me. Who am I to know anything better about myself? You know,
Right.
I didn't know. But now that I do, it's almost like I've opened that can of worms and I can't close it. I have to examine everything now, you know. I can't just push it off anymore. It's like, oh, why am I thinking that?
Good.
Oh, is that logical? No. Did you hear someone say that and that's why you think that? Or is that really, you know,
That's
thoughts?
good.
You know, for the longest time, I didn't know my thoughts could lie to me.
Hmm.
I thought if I thought it, it was the truth.
Right.
I did not know that I could be so delusional to believe things that were not true.
Wow.
I never,
Delusion.
you know, I just really thought that
That's a really harsh word.
Yeah. It's, and now I want everybody to know that you can change it. You don't have to accept where you're at in your own
So
thought.
you think the new year is the time to change? It's time to set those goals and for the change. You think?
Yeah.
Think it's possible
Yeah.
for some people to change?
Oh yeah. I mean, does it happen overnight? No. Does it, is it easy? No. But are you worth it? Yeah, you are. Don't be surprised if lots of us seek asylum in Canada soon, BJ. Olivia, we were talking about free healthcare
Maybe.
earlier.
Yeah, her and BJ's been chit chatting about that. Yeah, we've
Yeah,
already gone through down that rabbit hole of healthcare here. But it's
yeah,
been this way. I mean, people say since so and so, it's been this way. It's been this way.
it has. It
When
has.
I was a kid, we were talking about the elderly eating cat food because it was cheaper. You know, deciding over their meds. You know, over their meds or eating. I mean, it's
Hmm.
been this way for you know. So
Yeah, and there's a lot of people
it's just the new
still who,
generations coming in with it. I'm
a
sorry.
lot of people who don't think about anybody but themselves. They're doing okay. They're surviving. They're doing all right.
Yeah.
They don't want to think about everybody else who might not
Yeah.
be, you
I've
know.
noticed that. It's what's in it for me. A
Yeah.
lot of what's in it for me vibe the last couple of years, but that's okay.
And do you notice and I've always felt this kind of people with money look down on people without money, but yet maybe their money was inherited and they didn't ever work for the money. And then you take, like, let's just say, like, we have grumpy old farmer down the road. I don't know him, but he puts up signs saying, slow down, somebody's going to get killed, or whatever,
Mhm.
so I just say he's grumpy. But he's farmed all his life. He's got a nice place, a little house, but lots of acreage of land and all.
Mhm.
And I'm sure there are people that live in huge, big houses that look down on him, and yet he may be wealthier than any of them
Oh yeah,
because he probably doesn't have a lot of debt, whereas most Americans today have debt. You know,
and he's a farmer.
yeah,
He's a farmer. That means they can't go on vacation.
yeah,
Farming is 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They
yeah,
don't. They can't go on a European vacation. They can't
yeah,
go to the Bahamas. They can't. So where is his money spent? You know what I
yeah,
mean? It gets
yeah.
put in the mattress.
And you just don't know somebody's life. You don't know. But I feel like there's people that, they don't care about other people if it's not their and even families don't care about their own families, but a lot of, people don't care if it's not within their immediate family, their immediate situation, you
If
know.
it doesn't involve them,
Doesn't involve them, so they don't see it.
nah,
They don't
it doesn't
acknowledge
hurt
it.
me. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't affect me.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
And I don't
Farmers
know.
typically have money. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. I
Yeah.
lived for years in a farming area, and you'd be amazed. Just look at the machinery. This big, huge machinery, this big tractor with all
And
these attachments. You have to think that's hundreds of thousands of dollars of just equipment.
well, this guy,
They don't
he
just
knows his own sides of the road
uh huh.
where the county will come and mow it,
Right.
but he does not let them. He has signs that says owner mows, and
Okay.
he mows his own. So he's got the big tractor and goes out there and does it,
Right.
and there's no telling how much of that land along that road he owns,
Yeah.
you know. Um, but when you see him, he drives a really old pickup truck, and he'll have on his bibbed overalls, and he always looks dirty, because
Oh,
he's been out
nice.
there
Yeah.
working. But I just feel like, why are we a society of people that we don't see his worth or his wealth because of how he chooses to dress, and he chooses to live in a small house. He probably could buy the biggest house in town, but that's not what he wants to do.
See, but he would be the one I would want to talk to. I
Yeah.
would want to sit in a cafe and just have a little chat with him, because I bet you he's got the greatest stories. I bet you he's a character.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. And I wrongly call him the grumpy old farmer. He's probably the nicest man ever. But I get a chuckle out of every time I drive past and see what he's put out there on his sign. Because he's got one of those signs like you would have, like if you were, having a special event or a sale or something, and you put the sign out there. So he always changes what's on his sign. But he
Oh,
doesn't like people driving down that part of the road fast, you know.
okay.
And he'll put like, this is a rural road. The speed limit is 55, or whatever. And it's like, he probably sits there and watches people just fly by his house.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't doubt him that
And he
he,
probably doesn't like the growth and all that stuff going on as
yeah.
well.
All right, Norma, you go lay down. Take some
Yeah. You take
medicine.
care of
I hope
yourself,
you
honey.
feel
Stay
better.
warm.
But anyway, we got to quit judging people and not being respectful of other people's feelings, and let people live. Let them do
Yeah.
what they want to do. Does it
And he's
really
not
bother
hurting anything. That man's not hurting anything.
if it doesn't bother you, it doesn't directly affect your happiness, then let it go.
Let it be.
Don't
I mean, the Beatles
worry
said it
about
hundreds of years ago. Let it be.
Yeah, let it be. Exactly. Be kind and let it be. Let people do what they want to do. Yeah, I don't blame them either, because people do fly. Because, they don't think they're going to see any police or anything. I need a video sometime this road that I have to go out. At one point, there are cemeteries on both sides of the road, big cemeteries.
Hmm.
And then there's the farmer and his house. And then there's another place that's got two of those black and brown and white horses, Appaloosas, or
Oh, wow. Pretty. Okay.
yeah, two of those on one side of the road. And then on the other side of the road, there's they usually have some cows over there. But
Okay.
and then there's like, there'll like be nothing. And then there's a little neighborhood over here to this side. And then you'll go again and there'll be nothing. And then there's a place on the side where they keep bees and they make honey.
Okay.
It's really an odd road. It's like
I
there's
love
always
it.
something to look at when you're going down.
Well,
But
and people that don't drive it and they're going down the road, I'm sure they just wah wah because that's what they see. Yeah. I bet you they do. I bet you they just fly down that road.
they do. They do. Misha said all
I
are
need to look
welcome
first
to
too.
come
Yeah.
as creators or hang out and chat or both. If there are any questions, reach out to one of us. Yes. Everybody, she must be talking about the Christmas thing.
Okay. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yep.
Okay. So it's going to be Christmas Eve and starts. Everything is Central Time, U.S. Central Time. So any times they talk about it, it's going to be Central Time. So it's It'll start midnight Central on Christmas Eve morning, and it will go to midnight Central on Christmas night. So it's going to go a full 48 hours. And anybody that wants to come, BJ, I would love for you to, you can even put something together of your shorts or whatever you want to do, honey. Anybody is welcome to come. Everybody is welcome. Everybody is welcome.
And it's not going to be all mental health stuff. It's not going to be religious stuff. It's not going to be, it's going to be fun. It's, there's going to be a variety of
there's going to be so many different creators coming up and sharing. And everybody's about an hour long. And there's going to be so many different creators. I mean, there's some that do tarot cards. There's some that just tell jokes. We're probably going to watch a parade. I mean, it's going to be the gambit for the 48 hours. So everybody is welcome. It's the village. We are that village. So come and join us. There is also a sign-up sheet if you would like to come and grab an hour, a segment, and come in and share what you would like. It would be beautiful. We're always there. Everybody is welcome. We're looking at hopefully getting somebody to come. Somebody was mentioning they know about dreams. So they may come up there and talk about dreams, which I think would be very interesting.
Yeah.
I
definitely want to have the dream conversation because I've had some.
We are the village. There it is. We are the village. Yeah, I can't highlight anything, honey.
BJ, you don't have to do an hour of a video or whatever. You can put together, different things, or you and I can go up together and we can share and just play stuff off your playlist or, whatever.
But usually it's an hour segment,
The segment is for an hour. It's like, so, there's blocks of time so that we have different people signed up at different times. And that's right, Miss Edna. You can watch on and off. You can pop in whenever you are available. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, gee, I wonder who's on YouTube, you can go check it out and somebody will be on over there. So it's really nice just to have something to go and watch during the holidays.
Well, and I did Thanksgiving, and I ended up getting up there with Ben and just getting up there and I did a trivia jokes, just trivia things. So it just whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
it wasn't it's just that's the way it fell together. So that's where we went.
The dream thing is really interesting. And Body Illusion and I have been talking. We might do like astrology and numerology because I would love I would love to know more about some of that.
That would be so scary.
If you don't want to do an hour, we can talk. Schedule for an hour, and one of us can fill in the other 30 minutes. We work with all of us. We have each other's backs. We get it. Yeah, I mean.
There you go, BJ.
Don't stress over it, BJ. Don't stress over it. We want it.
And it's happened that people have gone on and they have an hour. Right? They picked for an hour and they've gone for half an hour, and something's happened. They've got to go get the kids, or something's cooking on the stove, or something and they have to go. So one of us just jumps in. Somebody's always around to just kind of, we just flow. It just flows. Just like this weekend.
That would work. That would be great. And like I said, then we can pull up your channel and I can play some of your shorts or whatever. And I won't be using my voice. You don't have to use your voice.
No.
We'll figure something.
There's a lot of people that don't show their faces.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people that don't talk.
Be something fun. Something fun that you'll enjoy doing. If it's going to stress you out, then yeah, don't. Deborah said, "I love astrology and the dream world." Yes, see, you should come in that conversation too, Deborah. That would be great.
She's starting something, guys. She's starting something.
I'm meddling in people's lives.
Yes, she is. I can see her, Mr. Burns. Excellent.
The whole point is to be fun and to uplift us. No stress, no worries. I had to leave in the middle of mine last time. Exactly. And I didn't even get to go on because I didn't have any internet. So Body Illusion had to take over for me. But, we'll work out.
There was like 4 or 5 of us up there.
I know. I'm like, I feel so bad. But, and Body's Illusion, her suggestion was go find a coffee shop. I'm like, do you realize where I'm at? I'm in the middle of nowhere. The only thing in the whole town that had Wi-Fi was a library, and at 10 p.m. at night they were closed.
Of course they were. Yeah. And they would have just loved you live streaming, right? Chit chat in the library.
Yeah, I could see it. Excuse me, but
oh yeah, we're just getting ready to play a song, honey, just in time.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to go on for an hour and play nothing but AI generated music, Aria would love that.
Right.
She'll be like,
thank you for putting up the village. Thank you for putting that up, Aria. Yeah, because
life happens. You are so right.
Again, anybody can come. Everybody's welcome. Open arms, definitely. Open arms the whole time.
Does anyone like Betty Boop? Yes, and I think you could do the Betty Boop thing. That would be fine.
I just showed you Betty Boop, didn't I? Wasn't BJ here for that?
Yeah.
Weren't you here for that?
Well, thank you, DJ. I'm glad you love our sense of humor. I tell you, we have nothing but fun. We talk about some strange things sometimes, but normally we have a good time. I've cried, but that's nothing new. So
oh, anyway. So yeah, everybody come visit. I'll make the playlist. See, there you go.
There you go.
It's cinchy. It's yeah. If you overthink it, it's not going to be fun.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Just flow with it. That's what I do. You know me, BJ. I just flow.
But the thing about it is he doesn't realize how good his stuff is.
Yeah.
Because we all do. Nobody does. Nobody realizes, and it's good. So we'll figure it out.
Is that what they're called?
Those are called left turn conversations. Yes. That's why we always have a topic, but sometimes we don't stay on topic, but that's okay too.
That's all right. As long as we have fun and we enjoy it, that's the main thing. So yeah, shorts, videos, 5-minute long clips, 11 of them. Yeah, see?
Yeah. There you go.
Bing, bang, boom. It's done.
It's done. Okay. Put him down. What time frame would you like?
Do your truckers, just do an hour of your truckers,
It's okay, Ned. Do what you got to do, sweetheart.
Yeah. ADHD couple. Yeah.
That's right. This has been a really good conversation. I really appreciate everybody giving their point of view and kind of helping us talk about things. It's no fun to get up here and not know if the people are actually listening, and we can always tell with y'all because y'all always be commenting and let us know.
You chatters.
Yeah, we love it. We love the chatters.
But I'm not sure. Echo knows better. I probably won't be doing anything with Echo until after Christmas. We may do something on the village, but I probably won't be on your channel till after Christmas, correct?
Yeah, we have next, not this coming Sunday, but the following Sunday, the 28th. Oh, that's after Christmas. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
okay. Okay.
I thought you were saying after New Year's.
No, after Christmas. So, because I just wanted to tell everybody Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Yule, whatever it is for you. Just, I hope you have a blessed one and a happy one. Yeah, I really do. I've been listening. Good. At least one of us has been. I haven't. Oh, I'm just teasing. But I hope everybody has a beautiful holiday. And if you get a chance, come by the village. It'll be there. It'll be there with open arms waiting for you.
Yeah. And y'all might actually see some channels that you know, and you might make some new friends of channels that you don't know. You never know.
Yes. Yeah. It's all about connection, honey.
I was going to say, that's what it's all about. Growing the communities and getting communities together. I don't think anybody needs to stay in their own niche, as they call it. We all need to, everybody can have different opinions and different likes. And, if I had stayed in my no niche channel, I would have never met most of y'all. So,
how do we grow if we don't talk to each other and find out each other? We grow ourselves.
Yeah.
Internally, we learn things. So, yeah. Don't forget thumbs up. Oh, yeah, thumbs up, subscribe, and share if you can. Okay, there you go. There you go, YouTube. Are you happy?
Navidad. And I do know that means Merry Christmas in Spanish. I don't know much about, and I don't know what Yuletide is. I'll have to look that one up. I've heard of Kwanzaa, and what was the other one you said?
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah. Oh, I know about Hanukkah.
Yeah, I think Mac may be sharing one of her Hanukkah days with us again. She did last year. She may be sharing it again. Yeah. Yuletide. Yule is well, it's more of a oh my goodness, I don't even know the word now. But anyway. It is. It's one of those.
It is. And I should look it up because I have no idea what it is.
Oh my gosh. It's
Happy
more pagan.
holidays.
It's more pagan.
I say. There you go, BJ. Oh, it's like the solstice. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to look into it because I should know that.
Oh, goodness gracious. Let me mute me for just a second here. If I can get my.
Oh, DJ says she has 3 Jewish grandchildren and 3 Christian grandchildren.
Okay.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it is pagan. Okay.
Pagan. Okay.
It only took me forever to think of the word.
All right, then. It is, let's see, what time is it? Oh, only 5:14. We've only been on for 2 hours and 15 minutes.
But again, come by the village if you want to. We'll be there. Like I said, with open arms and open hearts. Come by and visit. Yeah. And there'll be a sign-up sheet for anybody who wants to sign up. Reach out to myself or Echo. We can get it to you. And you can sign up for a block of time, whatever you want to do. Yeah. And we'll have fun. And be strong. Right. Be strong. And try to make today just a little bit better than yesterday. And I love you.
That's right. Everybody pull together. We're going to make it to the end of this year. I know we will. I'm a free spirit that goes with the flow, no guidance needed. There you go, BJ. We all need to be free, don't we? Gosh. Words are slippery these days.
Oh, that's a good way of putting it. That's a good way. I like that. I like that.
All right. Well, y'all take care, and I will see you. I will see everybody Monday, 10 a.m. I got to work it out. Love y'all.